my name's Annette, and you might know me on social media as Nettersplays, and today I'm going to show you a two-player game that I really enjoy, and that game is Battle Line. Now, I like Battle Line for several reasons, but before I get into it, let me show you exactly how to play this game, what it's all about, and then I'll give you my final thoughts on why this game is a great two-player card game. So first, let me show you how to set up the game. What you're going to do is set up 9 flags in front of yourself and your opponent. You're also going to go ahead and use this troop deck, which are cards labeled 1 through 10 in 6 different colors. Shuffle it all up, deal out 7 to your opponent and 7 to yourself. The rest will become a draw deck. You also have these tactic cards, which are going to change the outlay and the play of the game. You're going to shuffle these up and set it aside as another draw deck. So your main objective is to capture these flags here. If you can capture 3 that are next to each other or adjacent, or any 5 flags, then you win the game. So how do you capture a flag? Basically, what you're going to do on your turn is look at your cards in your hand, pick a card, and then you get to play it in front of any one of these flags. After you do so, you get to either draw from the troop deck or the tactic deck. So what you're going to do is you're going to create formations of up to 3 cards in front of these flags. Your opponent is also going to play cards wherever they like in front of these flags. And what you're going to have to do is make sure that you win these flags by beating their set of 3 cards. So let me show you the different formations that you can use in order to win those flags. So here are a few examples of how to capture a flag. Now, here you're going to have 3 cards in front of this flag and 1 card in front of that one. Now, you can't determine if this player will win it simply because there needs to be 3 and 3 in front of that flag. Now, this is an example where you have 3 and 3 in front of that flag. Now you're going to determine who captures that flag. So you have a battalion versus a wedge. This is a higher formation, therefore the flag will go to your opponent. So in the game, it's going to be pretty obvious who's going to capture some of these flags. It's going to get tighter throughout the game, and then you're going to have to deduce and prove to your opponent that no matter what, they cannot win these flags in front of them. For example, if this opponent has an 8 between the 9 and 7, then they're going to have a wedge and just win that flag no matter what. But if you were to play this 8 here, you're going to prove that no matter what, they cannot use that 8 because you're using it. Therefore, you're going to capture that flag. So at first you might want to play with only the troop cards, but you can also play with these tactic cards, which are going to add a little bit more meat to the game. The only thing about these tactic cards is that you can draw these cards instead of the troop cards, but whenever you play 1 card, you cannot play any more tactic cards from your hand until your opponent plays 1 themselves. So as you can see, this game is super simple to understand and learn. And I think that's a really good benefit of this game because of its familiarity with other games like poker. Because you're setting up sets of 3, straights or flushes, and that familiarity is easy to introduce a non-gamer to this game. Another good reason that I really enjoy this game is the deductive reasoning behind this game, because you're using whatever's in your hand along with what's already been played on the table to prove that your opponent cannot win a certain flag. And just proving that they cannot win it is just totally fun because you're using the logic behind what's in front of you and also what's behind these cards that you have in hand. So it's a lot of fun. And lastly, once you learn this game, then you pretty much can introduce those tactic cards, and that's just going to mess up the whole layout of the game because you can play those or you can even use them as a threat to your opponent or they can use it to you. So the game itself is just super fun, it's super easy, it's not something you're going to just break your head over, but it has a lot of strategy that you can really invest your time into. So that's why I pick Battle Line as a great 2-player game.